A wonderful subscriber recommended this book, Hartley and Hawkes, Rings, Modules, and Linear Algebra. It really does fill a hole in the case of somebody learning abstract algebra in a book like, in my case, what I'm doing with Gallian, in which modules are not discussed. So I think it's an interesting book to have. Now, as an aside, it was not clear to me when I got the book how small it is. just I just find it amusing. I mean, say something like Tao's book, which is not a big book, looks big by comparison, and maybe I can like add bigger books, maybe like a bigger book like Pew's book. You can see how tiny this book is. Yeah, just I just found that amusing that when I got it, I was surprised because all I had seen was a picture and I didn't really have any relative sense. Of course, the measurements were in the listing in eBay, but I usually don't look at those. Maybe I should start doing that. So it's part of the Chapman and Hall series. These books for the collector in me have since gotten the Cambridge University imprint. I know for also in the later editions, for sure, you can tell because I was looking up Sylvester's Intro to Algebraic K-Theory just for kicks, and the later editions are all Cambridge University. They're no longer Chapman and Hall. I assume Chapman and Hall is no longer in business. And this particular reprint is from 1987, even though it's originally a 1970 book. I'll zoom in on the preface as usual, as I usually do. And hopefully I will not forget to zoom out. Yeah, so it's based on lectures, but incredibly enough, even though it's a lectures book, which usually I don't like and are very heavily summarized, this book is really well written and it's got all the baby talk that a self-learner would ever need. Yeah. It's got multiple parts, and it also has a guide for the content and organization of topics, which tells you roughly which chapter depends on which chapter. I like that a lot in a book. Some basic how we do things, and then the table of contents. Rings, subrings, constructions of new rings, factorization of integral domains, modules, this is what I came here for, then some special classes of modules, then the part two, okay, the part one was called rings and modules, the part two is decomposition over a principal ideal domain, a PID, submodules of free modules, decomposition theorems, and then the matrix tree approach to those theorems. Then a part three with applications. Finitely generated abelian groups, linear transformations. This is where all the linear algebra content really gets in. Canonical forms. I see rational. I see Jordan canonical. It does not have answers to two problems in the back. It does not. But I have to say, even though it's a small book, I think it packs a punch. I was reading through some of the basic concepts, which I have also been reading and Gallian at the same time. And I am impressed and happy to find a book with many ring examples. Yeah, it's got many ring examples. Look at that. And then some non-examples. That's very nice. It does have proofs. And some exercises. So yeah, I have to say that for a brief book, and for supposedly a lecture book, somebody did a really good job of putting in information that I'm sure could never be spoken like this in a lecture. Sometimes a lecture book is just whatever that person said in the lecture, and that's it. This is not it. This has a lot in a small package. Construction of new rings, And I'm not going to show the entire book, but I think you get the, I hope you get from what I'm showing the gist of it. And I I like it. I'm very happy that I have it in my collection. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to use it as a reference, especially because it's got lots of examples. I like that a lot in a book. Yeah, and some self-doubt examples as well. And the theorems, the proofs are pretty lengthy, which I like also as a self-learner. Yeah, finally generated abelian groups. Then to the back matter, canonical forms with examples, some references, and then an index.